A vigil at Stockwell Tube Station marking 20 years since Jean-Charles de Menezes was shot dead by police marksmen mistaking him for a suicide bomber.
It's been 20 years of justice denied. Nobody has ever been held accountable. Instead, we have had 20 years of a struggle by the family simply to get all the evidence heard in court.
The head of the Met says his death remains a matter of deep regret. Also tonight. After breaking almost every bone in his face in a car crash, the Bishop of Southwark thanks the surgeons who put him back together. Plus,
I'm at one of the many watch parties throughout the capital where England fans will be gathering, hoping to cheer the Lionesses on to a place in the final of Euro 2025.
But could it be London's Italians cheering the loudest? I will be here with fans watching the match at Bar Italia in Soho.
from Walthamstow to the West End, she chats to me about starring as Tina Turner.
A man from Essex who dreamt about being like James Bond has been found guilty of trying to spy for what he believed to be Russian intelligence service agents. Howard Phillips from Harlow tried to help agents who turned out to be undercover British intelligence officers. The 65-year-old handed over personal details of a former defence secretary and offered to further assist with espionage activities. A prolific handbag thief who preyed on after-work drinkers at pubs in London has been jailed for 2.5 years. Sid Rabai was seen on CCTV pretending to chat on his mobile phone while using his foot to drag bags away from their distracted owners. He stole more than £6,000 worth of goods. Transport for London has raised the price of its 60-plus Oyster card by £15. The increase from £20 to £35 marks the biggest rise among several Oyster and Zip card fees going up across the capital. TFL blames financial pressures for the changes.
A 51-year-old man has appeared before magistrates charged with violent disorder outside a hotel housing asylum seekers. Protests took place outside the Bell Hotel in Epping on Thursday and Sunday, where police officers were injured during clashes. Dean Smith has been remanded in custody to appear at Chelmsford Crown Court next month. The Old Baileys heard how a 9-year-old girl was shot in the head when a gunman on a motorbike opened fire during a planned assassination of rival gang members. The girl was eating dinner with her family at a restaurant in Dalston last May. 3 men were also seriously injured. Javon Riley has pleaded not guilty to 4 charges of attempted murder. The case continues. And a British man who dreamt about being like James Bond has been found guilty of trying to spy for what he believed to be Russian intelligence service agents. Howard Phillips from Harlow in Essex wanted to pass on personal information about a former defence secretary, but was speaking to undercover British intelligence officers. Now, it might not feel like it in the last few days with the rain, but it has been a dry and very hot spring, and a number of hosepipe bans have been introduced in parts of the country with fines of up to £1,000. So far, London has escaped any restrictions, but just how long could that last? Our environment correspondent Tom Edwards is here. Hi there, Tom.
Hi.
So where are these hosepipe bans first?
Yeah, well, at the moment we've got hosepipe bans around London, touching London, but not actually in the capital. If we have a look now at where they are, you'll be able to see on your screens. Thames Water, they've got hosepipe bans in Oxfordshire, West Berkshire and Gloucestershire, and you can see there Southern Water have also got a ban in Hampshire going down to the Isle of Wight, and down in Kent, South East Water around Tunbridge, they've also got a hosepipe ban, but London, as yet, hasn't got one at the moment, but that's the crucial phrase, I think.
Yeah, at the moment. So what is the likelihood of those bans expanding to cover London as well?
I think nobody knows. It's probable. I've spoken to all the water operators that cover the capital. What they're saying is they're monitoring the situation at the moment. They don't expect hosepipe bans. That's their exact phrase. The reason is they rely more on groundwater in aquifers. That's water stored in chalk rocks below the surface, not the reservoirs and the rivers that the other operators use, and they're a bit more susceptible reservoirs, for example, to drought conditions, things like evaporation, things like that.
Some people might be thinking, we did have a lot of heavy rain over the weekend. Won't that help?
Well, we've had the driest spring for 130 years, and I think we only got about 50% of rainfall, the May average. So I'm afraid those in the industry think that a few days' rain isn't really going to make much difference to the water levels.
And here's the question for many people watching tonight. Are we expecting bills to rise?
Yeah, I'm afraid it looks like bills are going to increase. That's the direction of travel, and that's to pay for the investment in infrastructure and to stop sewage going into the rivers. Could be as much, we believe, as 30% increase in the bills over the next 5 years, but it's very, very contentious, as we've covered a number of times, and campaigners think the system is broken and the whole system is in need of total reform.